Good morning, everybody. Romel Santiago here once again. So, today we're going to be talking about a topic that a lot of folks do not understand and do not know. This is about what happens if I travel. So, in the United States, a license for a therapist is only valid within the boundaries of that state. We won't get into the logistics of the therapy compact and what that means. If you have questions about that, just a quick snapshot, certain professional licenses, so mental health therapists, like marriage and family therapists, clinical social workers, all of those have different license. There's a certain set of licenses, governing boards that are working to collaborate within each state so that there's reciprocity. That is not currently happening with social workers as of 2023. So, but that's the ADD moment. So every license is bound to that particular state. If you are traveling out of state, and he just wants attention. If you are traveling out of state, it is a felony to provide services to clients when they are not in the state that you are licensed in. I can be anywhere in the world. In fact, I live in Colombia, South America. I am licensed in Maryland and Florida. As long as my client, as long as the moment that I see you, you are physically in Maryland, Florida, or anywhere in Colombia, I can see you. Some states have more flexibility than others. For example, if a client of mine decides that they're going to go on vacation for 24 hours to Missouri, the moment they cross that boundary to Missouri and they are physically in Missouri, it is a felony no matter what. I can't see you, I can't provide any kind of service. It is a felony. That's it. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. That's a state that has very little flexibility. Then there's states like Arizona. So Arizona simply says that, hey, you can see a client for about 90 sessions before you have to get licensed here. So if my client decides that they're going to take a 3 month vacation in Arizona, I can see them. I just have to, one, let the state know. Two, I can only see them for an allotted amount of time. Then there's states like Washington, the state of Washington, that simply say, hey, as long as you have had a relationship with this client before they entered into Washington, you're good. You can see them a few times. You're fine. No issue. And then there's Delaware. Fucking love Delaware. They're like, hey, if you got a license, you're good. Come on, bruh. See them. We don't care. You good. If you have a license and you can prove you have a license, no problem. So every state is going to be different. So, what that means is if you are planning to take a trip out of state or out of the country, please make sure that you do inform your therapist. That's not something that's just Romeo sensation. That's something that's within every mental health profession because I don't know about your therapist, but I let all my clients know. Unless you got bail money and are going to be putting money on my commissary every month, I'm not about that life. I like to I like my freedom. I like living in Colombia. I am not going to jail for any of my clients. Do some therapists break that boundary, break those laws? Absolutely. Here at Romeo Sensation LLC, we do not. We take that seriously because I am not going to jail for any of my clients. Y'all not that important. I'm sorry. Love y'all, but you're not that important that I'm going to go to jail for you. So, if you are traveling out of state, make sure you talk to your therapist. If you are traveling out of the country, some countries are very flexible. Some countries, like Colombia, they're not. You have to be licensed in Colombia and other countries. Their licenses across the country, not just across the different departments. So, in order for me to see clients here in Colombia, I have to be licensed in Colombia. But therapy looks very different here in Colombia than it does in the United States. So I am then bound by the laws of what they deem therapy to be. So every country, every state is going to be different. Make sure that are you are not responsible for knowing what the laws are as the client. As a therapist, it's my responsibility. If I choose to see you while you leave the safety of where I'm licensed, it is my responsibility as the provider to make sure that I'm abiding by the laws, rules, and regulations and ethics wherever you go. So, I say all of that because this is something that comes up very, very often, and I want to make sure that I'm at least throwing that information out because lots of folks don't know. So, hope you found this useful. With that being said, we do have to pause, but I hope you have a wonderful, amazing rest of this beautiful day, and I will see you soon.